Hello, welcome back everybody to the channel. My name is Matt, and you can tell by the title of this video, I'm a very weird person. Now, weird in a good way. A lot of people in my life and a lot of friends that I met, a lot of people that I've met, they see, this calm, cool, you know, guy in front of them and you know, they don't realize how I think, how I act sometimes, but there's a side of me that I've just noticed as I got older, and I was a pretty weird kid as well, but I've noticed now, especially this year, I'm I've definitely gotten weirder. I feel like I'm doing weirder things. Um so to get a little bit more specific, like I've just picked up this kind of like this interest in listening to all these different types of like techno music, like really, like really old, like 80s, like synth wave stuff. Just I feel like I have that like energy of like, I don't know, like electricity through me almost. Um, it's hard to explain, but I've been especially this year, like I literally just came back from sitting on the porch there, and I was just listening to a whole bunch of random electronic, synthwave, techno, disco music, and I loved it. I was having a blast. I was like shaking my legs. I was like just going nuts. Like if somebody were to see me from from down below, or like they think this person's like crazy, he must be on some type of drugs. I don't do any drugs, but I am very I have started to become very weird. Um, It's hard to describe. It's very hard to describe. Um, I and when I was smaller, and even as I got older, like I just tend to think about things that people don't really. I don't really think. I don't really feel like people think about these things often. Like a lot of people, they tend to think about their daily life. They tend to think about a lot of people just tend to think in the now. They tend to think of what am I going to do after work when I get home? Um, what's for dinner tomorrow? What's for dinner tonight? I don't have I do think about that as as a normal routine as a human being, to live and stuff. But I tend to think a lot about the future. I think a lot about where I'm gonna be in the next 5 years, or even this year, and even 2 years from now. Like I tend to think about that a lot. I think I tend to think about the future a lot more than I do the present, and that gets me into sometimes like just crazy ideas that I have, crazy types of thoughts that I have. But you know, every time I've thought about something that was not possible for me, like for an example, um, if you haven't watched my other videos about me working at this government job, I suggest you go watch that just to get some insight. I don't name anything specific here because just in case my employer stumbles upon these videos and stuff, I have nothing against these people. They were great people to work with. They were great managers, and the environment was a very beautiful environment. I had a privilege of working there. There's a lot of crazy stuff that happened there, but I learned a lot from that experience, and a lot of that I'm now taking with me, and I'm going to take with me for the rest of my life. And like I remember that whole experience, and that happened because the years prior leading up to me working there, I decided to go visit this place. I decided to go visit this place and stay there for a bit. And this was after the pandemic. I felt the urge to get out because we were trapped inside, and a lot of stuff was closed down, but the outdoors wasn't closed down. So this might give it away, but Sorry if I gave it away, if any of you guys stumble upon this video, but I have nothing against that place. It was a beautiful place to work at. Sad that I didn't get to stay there longer, and I'm sad that I couldn't make a career out of it, but I definitely learned a lot, and I met some incredible people, some very weird people, some interesting people, and some not so good people that I've had to put up with, but that's fine. Um, so to be back on topic here, so I had these thoughts about, you know, going to this beautiful place, and I was staying there, but I didn't realize that the year after that, I would end up working there. Just it all lined up because the way I was thinking at that time. And okay, let's cut it off right there for that story, because it's not about the stories of this video is about me being weird, me being a weirdo. I may not look like a weirdo to a lot of people. I may not look weird, but I'm weird. I'm weird, but that's fine. That's what makes this world interesting. Um, I tend to attract a lot of weird people too. It's just the way I am, and just I had a moment when I was sitting outside and I'm listening to this music, and I'm like, if anybody were to see or hear what I'm listening to right now, and like look what I was doing, and I'm like, I'm weird, and that's totally fine. I'm I'm proud to be weird. I'm proud to be weird. It's a Whenever I do weird stuff like that, I always feel happy. I feel happy, and that's the most important part. Every time I do that kind of stuff. And again, there's like good weird and then there's bad weird. I mean, you have the bad weirdos out there. People, are like, you're a weirdo, or you're weird. It's like I feel like people kind of don't categorize weird. They kind of just say that's weird because it's something that's not conceivable to them. They don't quite understand it, so they'll just use the term weird. But my weird is, when I'm in my weird moods, I feel happy. I feel free. I feel re-energized whenever I do this type of stuff. And I think that's the most important part. I mean, if you find something, as long as it's not hurting anybody else, and it's keeping you positive and happy, I believe that you should do it. Just be weird. Do whatever weird stuff you got to do, as long as it makes you happy. Don't take this into other contexts. I mean, like I said, if it's not hurting anybody, I don't know where this video is going. See my weirdness. See my weirdness. Oh, anyway, it's a little bit late here. Tired. Um, any of you guys are living in the West right now? There's a big heat wave happening. I know Europe's getting hit pretty hard. Um, so that's just that's that. And yep. So if any of you guys are weird out there, just know that you're not alone. I'm weird. I'm part of the weirdo group, and that's fine. I've had moments where I was ashamed of being weird, but it's just the way you are. It's just the way you are. It's just the way people are. You can't change people. I've learned that now through my 27 years so far, is that you cannot change people. People are the way they are. It is what it is. So, and that's just life. I mean, to think about how boring it would be if everybody thought the same, if everybody acted the same. I don't think there'd be life. I think we'd just all be robots, and I don't think that's a good thing. Um, Now with AI coming out, and especially on YouTube, I mean, like there's so much weird AI stuff on YouTube now that you really have to have the brain capacity and the intellect to discern whether whether or not you're seeing something that's fake, manipulated, deceptive, or real. Like, I feel bad for people that can't discern that, and then just, or people that are gullible, and then they just believe whatever they see. Um, That's another thing too. YouTube for me anyway, like I've always gone on YouTube to learn something, to learn something that would add to my life, that would add to my daily life. And I think the part that's really now concerning is there's just because of the state of things, because of people's mental health, and there's a lot going on that's negative. But I don't want to harp on that too much. I don't want to feed into that. But people use YouTube as just their outlet to vent, their outlet to figure out what's really going on in this crazy world. I mean, that we're all experiencing. I mean, we're all part of it. And so people are using that in ways that, that might be good for them, but, consciously, well, I'm going all over the place. See the weirdness here? So this general video is just me being weird, and that's the topic of this video. uh yeah, I haven't talked to many people today. That's probably why. I work independently, so um, that's probably why I'm acting a little bit weirder as well. But yeah, um, hope you guys can take away whatever you've learned from this video. Um, and yeah, so we'll see you when we come up with another topic, and I'm sure this topic will be better than this topic. See you guys later.